Good morning, it's Lori Christos with Madonna and Child Jewelry, and it's like almost 5 o'clock in the morning here in Chicago, and I just couldn't sleep. I think I had way too much caffeine last night, and I don't know, but I'm still wide awake. So then I just made another cup of coffee, and I'm like, you know what, today I'm going to be so tired and probably in bed all day with my puppy that I pop on now while I have kind of a little bit of energy. So what I wanted to come back and show were some panel bracelets that I've been acquiring, and they're for resale. They're all beautiful, they're all sterling, they're all antique, and I'll show you them. Some of them I'll show you, but I may not part with. But also some necklaces that are newer that I've just put together because I found some amazing pieces over the weekend, and I'm going to have about the lowest buy it now price I could possibly have for the pieces. They would most likely be, at least 30% more at my shows. But since I have no shows right now, I'm going to show them to you. So this one I just finished, and I love Art Deco, and basically it was just a beautiful pendant. It's not sterling, I believe, because it's not marked, but if you do the magnet test, it doesn't stick, but it's stunning. It has a lot of great detail. There are like silver marcasites all around the piece. It's just a gorgeous pendant. It has an onyx center, and it's about 2 inches long, but hopefully you can really see that piece. It's stunning. And I was going to adorn it or add something, because I normally would, add a drop or add something on the marcasite. I had a little cross in mind, but I don't want to pigeonhole myself into doing just religious. So this one is just a beautiful vintage deco piece, and it's on a really old, one of the most fabulous antique crystal. They're kind of like long oblong crystals, and they're just stunning. They're my absolute favorite, because anything you hang from this looks incredible. And these are just a silver tone that have been, tarnished over many, many years, because these are super antique. But it's just a perfect piece. Love. And I'll just measure the here we go. I'll measure the beads. And if for some reason you like the piece, but you're like, I need a bigger neck, okay, because right now it's about 17. I can always, all I can do really basically is not add an extender, but on each end at the top, I can just add some bigger rings there and add an inch or so that way. So it doesn't ruin the piece and keeps it even. So this one is a favorite of mine that I just finished, and I think it's just a classic beauty. And I'm putting on this one 75, and it's worth it all day long because you're getting a really big look. Okay, here is just a little sweetie weedy but antique. Love this cross. It's basically the Jerusalem cross that we see a lot of, that looks like, I'll show you a bigger version of it. This one I still haven't put on anything, but these are stamped Jerusalem, this particular one, and I think they're, what does it say for silver content? I don't know. I think it says 925. It says silver. Actually, it's silver 900 on this. So I would assume it's the same, because this is a Jerusalem cross. And what I love about this is it's small. So it's like 3/4 of an inch. But it's kind of chunky. It's got a little locket. So it has this little opening, that your little clip. And you unclip. And it does have something you could put inside. Like, a piece of hair. You could put a photo if you wanted. You'd have to cut it out to that. And then the closure, this little ring have to make sure it's lined up. Goes back on it, but just beautiful detail on the cross. I've never really seen this one. I'm sure they're out there, but I'm sure it's probably a souvenir from Israel. But it has its own bail. Oh, this thing is stamped, the bail. I think it's 900, because it's kind of worn down. So I believe it's the same as the other piece. And then it's just on a 20-inch, really fine, beautiful sterling chain. And I'll just measure just to be sure. It's stamped sterling on the clasp. And it has a spring closure, so it's older piece. It's basically pretty long. It's nice. It's like 22 inches, and those are a really hard length to find. So 22 inches. Whoopee. Beautiful. And this one is 45, which is a steal, because you're getting two antique or vintage pieces here, definitely. Something that is one of a kind that you don't see a lot, and very unique, and you can layer it and add to your collection. So I just said 45, that's what I said. Okay, I'm already getting tired in my brain. This one, I just found the locket, but it was on this chain, so it's definitely not sterling, but it's silver tone. It's really old. It's like Victorian style. I mean, you don't find these very often where I can be able to procure it and then resell it, because these go for like $200 just on their own. And if they were sterling, they can go for like 7, 6, 5, 4, but definitely not what I'm going to mark this one up to. But basically, it is a 2-inch locket. I'll measure it though. And you know, it's an older piece, so you can see inside. And it's got the frames for your pictures. And I'm going to measure it, so you won't have to ask me any questions. It's shorter. This one is not a choker, but it's 1.5 on the locket. And the chain is 16. And you can see it's got the older clasp. It's also a beautiful chain, like very detailed. Every other link, like in this curb chain, is ornate and has detail. And there is one area, which this doesn't bother me at all, because it adds to the vintage charm, where there's a couple of the ornate pieces that are missing, but you know, you don't see it at all on, and it's very intact. And I wouldn't be able to find any more of these rings out there in the universe to fix it, and it doesn't bother me. And it's very, very dark in the patina, like a nice, like really, really like moody kind of a patina. Same with the chain. It could be polished up. I don't polish up things because I like it old like that, but it could be done. But when you're buying something this old, why do you want it to be shiny and new and look like a reproduction? So I don't do it. Also, of course, I just found this amazing cross that's marcasite that I loved. I had it on a bail, and I wore it, and I'm like, I love this cross. And I have so many necklaces, and it's like, I can't really wear 10 crosses at once. Believe me, I've worn 5, but I'm like, I don't need a tiny little baby cross. So I parted with it, and it killed me to remove the bail, but I did it because I think it just looks like it's part of the locket, and it gives it that old kind of medieval Renaissance vibe that I love. And it's got the bigger marcasites. They're beautiful. And it's a thick, I mean, this is like a whopper cross. This is not some dinky little marcasite sterling cross. This is silver. I don't know the silver tone, but It's an old cross, but look at how it ties in together, and I just, of course, I love it. So this is a beauty, a rarity, a one of a kind. I love the cross on it. And this price is $145. And if you try, like I said, go on eBay and try to find a Victorian locket with the chain, and there's nothing there for $145, even in a silver tone. And it's not magnetic, so the chain isn't magnetic, the piece isn't magnetic, so it's definitely a mixed silver tone metal. But look at the beauty that it gives off. And it's a heavy piece, so you're not, it's not a fragile little dainty thin locket. This is big. This is puffy. And adding that piece just makes it more substantial. So $145. And if you have any questions about the piece, or you love it, or even you want to make an offer, you can feel free to text me. But I just make it. And when I just make something, I don't really give it away to where I'm almost at a break-even point. Some of the older pieces I don't mind, because I want you to get acclimated to my jewelry, but something new like that, there's no need, because I'll never be able to make it again, and I'll keep it. Or, if I go to a show and have a show, this will be an outstanding look. And I decided for my shows this year, because I talked about how much I'm loving Italian and how I love Spanish, that I'm going to lay off of some of the other things I do with Madonnas, and I'm going to really just go for very old Renaissance looking things. And I'm going to start accumulating rings that when I do my show that look regal. So, something like, even this one has a regal vibe. It's Italian. It's got this is so gorgeous. It's sterling. And it's got the lion's head, and I think an emerald or something in there. And then a ring like this. But I'm going to this is two-toned in ruby or garnet and gold and sterling. But I'm going to start collecting regal, like even this band. And I'm just going to have a box of gems that look like they come out of a treasure chest, from a queen. And they're not going to be hundreds of dollars. These are going to be pieces that, I find, and I know how to search for them. And being sterling, they're going to be priced right. And it's just going to be very tempting. And that's my goal, because I have my turquoise box when I first started selling on here. I'm like, well, if I got to compete with these people, I got to have a ton of this and a ton of that. And I bought it all. And now I'm like, okay, it's winter here. I'm done with all of that. I have the collection. It's ready to go for, future shows or Mother's Day, or, once you have it, it's a collection. So you don't, have to run out and sell it all. I just have to find it again. So now my goal is to do the estate side of it with pieces that are like this deco, because I have a whole short video on deco. And I do, make it, put a stamp of my stamp on it. It's not dissimilar, but it most likely was on a chain at one time, and it could have had connectors or something, like panels that were in onyx, but those are gone. It was just a piece, so I had to put my stamp on it and just bring it back to life with some beautiful crystals. I love that one, sorry. Okie doke. So, there we go. There's a couple of beauties, very Madonna and Child, very one of a kind, all antique pieces, all one of a kind. Okay. I don't have a lot today, so don't worry about it. I'm slow because I'm exhausted, but I'm going to show you just the few that I have that are not very religious and very special. And I'll start with this one because it was in my short. So this one, I loved it because I love cherubs. And it was a pin, and it has marcasites. It's very old piece. It's like 2 inches long. This is like a celluloid, the cherub cameo, but it, it looks like a Wedgwood, but Wedgwood has white, and I like this better, and the creamy, it looks older, and Wedgwood, I was never a big fan of Wedgwood, but, so, what I did was, because it was a pin, like this, sideways, I didn't want to do it like that. I had to turn the cameo. I loved the shape of it like this. So I turned the cameo, opened it up and turned it around, took off the pin perfectly. It's not sharp or anything, and just easily added an antique. It's got a new clasp, but this is an antique sterling chain that I bought on a bracelet. And the bracelet, I bought on a necklace that was all like chains, and it was a choker, and I couldn't close it. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I bought this really expensive necklace, and I'm like, can't wear it. So basically, I made it into a bracelet, but it took me forever. And these were all the chains that were on it. So I used all the extra chain here to make that. So I think it's like the perfect little chain for it. It doesn't fight the piece. I didn't really want to put crystals or rose rubies on it. I just want the piece to be the focal point. So I just think that's a stunner and a one-of-a-kinder. I've never made anything ever that looks like it, ever. Because, it's just a rare little pin that I got lucky. And, when I remove pins, I get extremely nervous because they don't always come off right. And if the piece is sterling, which this is sterling and sterling, it's not like pot metal. And I've explained this before, where you grab a piece of the pin and you don't just try to yank it or hammer it off. You wiggle, 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 really slow, really slow, really slow, back and forth until it comes off. And if it was a pot metal, which this isn't, so I don't recommend you trying it on a pot metal, the whole piece would crack. So unless you're really lucky that day and praying to your jewelry angels, which I do all the time, but I'm just saying, don't try it on pot metal because it's so breakable and soft. So there you go. This one's a beauty. I've got a good price on it, $75, and that's just to my YouTubers, and it's just for as long as this video is up and nobody's bought it. So if you like this one, just put a note or email or text. I prefer texting, 708-217-1600, and just say, and people have been just sending me screenshots, which I appreciate it. But you could also write in the comment, like, blue cameo pendant, I'd like to buy that. And then you can either text me or I could follow up with you with a message or a comment. Okay, so I just love it. I'm sorry, I can't stop showing it, but I love it. It's such a one-of-a-kind and not religious. And then, we've got Valentine's Day coming up, so I'm like, I want to do a whole short video on angels, cherubs, cupids, and hearts, like heart necklaces, and that's what I'm starting to accumulate now. So I'll show you a couple. Okay, this one's no. Every time I put a puffy heart on, I get a lot of interest in it. This is a gorgeous puffy heart. I had two of them. I've already sold the other one. They were very similar. It's sterling. It's got a brighter patina. It's all engraved and on the bail. And it's puffy. It's not super heavy. But it has, like, not so much a locket in there. I mean, you could put a little baby picture and, like, glue stick it in there, but you could put a hair of your puppy or, something that you want to hide. I don't know. It's cute. And I made sure I fixed the clasp so it works perfectly. And so I love the piece. And then I found, I've never seen this chain, and I love it because it's so sparkly. So you've got to look at the detail. It has, I want you to be able to see this. Probably better on this with background. I'm whispering because everybody's sleeping. Nobody's up yet, so I'm They're going to think I'm nuts. Okay, so there we go. If you can see it, there is like an oval that has like, it almost looks like a starburst. It has like engraving on it, and it makes it shimmer. And it's like formed in a way that it's, you know, got a ring in between every single one of them. So the chain really pops because it's just not one, you know, straight piece. This is stunning. I love this piece. And this is not the dark patina. This is the bright, and I know it's dark, but this is the bright one. And, you know, it looks antique and vintage because it is, but it doesn't have the dark oxidation. It looks new. It looks, and this chain, let me find the closure. I mean, I think the closure is probably a newer chain because the closure is newer. But it's marked sterling, and it gives off a vintage vibe. So I don't know if they replaced it or what, but I don't care. It looks amazing with it. The etching in the pieces of the chain pick up the etching in this, and I was like, perfect match, would never change it. So that one is going to be an amazing price of $65. And you're getting all sterling vintage, and this one's not so much about bringing in the big bucks because I can make these all day long. I can find these puffy hearts. I can find gorgeous chains. Pieces like this that are one of a kind, you know, these are pricier because I won't be able to ever make it again, and I know it. This one I can do a version of, and I've sold many, but this is my favorite one so far because this locket is puffy, thick. Look how wide it is, and it's about 1.25 inches long and wide. Same with this. You know, I can't give this one away because I'll never find it again, and I have a lot in it. Okay, so I explained this heart. This is my Cupids and hearts. I have another one that's amazing. Amazing. Okay, I'll save that. Oh, here's another Cupid. So this one gives off a really big look. And it's basically like a puffy pendant. And it's heavy, but it's like a silver tone. It's not sterling. It doesn't stick though, but the chain does. And the chain looks sterling. So neither one of these are sterling. They're silver tone, but you're going to like the price because it's not. So beautiful, like ornate, and it was completely plain, like it was probably for something that you would engrave. It's definitely vintage on the bottom. I pulled my cherub off of something else because I'm like, this is where it's got to go because it needs something like that, and I'm into making things that look like they come out of Italy. So I mean, what a great look, right? I think it's precious. 48. If you don't grab this one, you must not like cherubs. You must not like angels. Because, as in one other one that I'm like, oh, I could keep it, but, you know, I have other things that look like it. But just a big look. And that's what I strive to do. Get the big look on the low budget. And unless I'm investing in the real pieces. And then they're worth every penny. And they retain their value. I'm going to be done soon. Well, I'm going to do the piano bracelets, I think. Okay, this one I love. I mean, I've never seen anything like this because it's Taxco, but the chain, for one, is what kills me. Like, I would have bought it just for the chain to use on something else because it gives off I have like a brassy gold tone chain like this, and it's an older chain. It's sterling. It's got the little spring ring. Excuse me. But look at the heart. It's like perfect. It's engraved. It gives off that, native vibe with the etching. But this one comes with a beautiful sterling cherub on it. So, I almost died because I'm like the cherub queen. But darling necklace. No, you can't do this with glasses. So I do buy, Taxco's very expensive, so it's not like I'm Googling, Taxco. I want to buy it up. No, because I can buy other pieces. I don't care if people are hung up on it or not. I'm not, so I'm not going to ever invest, thousands of dollars in it, but I have my own collection. But if it doesn't say it, I don't care. I mean, like I said, if it's beautiful, it's beautiful. So I love this one. It's a thinner, thinner. It's not tinny though. You've got your little cherub. It's going to be measured for you. It's longer. I love it. So the chain is 22. The piece with the bail, because the bail is really chunky. And there's no etching on the bail. It's just plain sterling. And then that's like 1.25 inches. So 22 on the chain, 1.25 inches. And I'm selling it for $65. I got a good deal on it, but this is normally something at my show, it would be like $125, and it's rare. I've never seen it. I mean, Google Taxco and put in cherubs. They don't do it. So I got lucky. Like, I end up finding my jam. So there's your Taxco mark. It's got the TL. Says TL-85, Mexico 925. It's Taxco, and it's in perfect condition. It literally looks brand new. So $65, you got an amazing, beautiful, valuable little piece of sterling necklace. This one, unless it's marked with the designer, I can't sell it today because I have to research it. But it's a famous, and yeah, I don't have it. It's in the paperwork when I bought it. But this one is a beautiful onyx. This one just says Sterling 925 on the back. But there's a designer, I can't remember the name, that I Googled. And his work is, he's out there pretty famous. And his work is sought after and expensive. This is another one that I loved. I picked it up. I didn't pay a fortune. This one has the older patina. I can find the name and put it in the comments later, so I won't pass this one up because this is gorgeous. And it's got the old patina. It's got the feathers. Look at the detail. It's got a two-tone vibe. Where is it? It's not really, though, but it's just the finish. So if I, decided I want to clean this up a little, I am getting, to me in my eye, but I'm getting a brassy leaf or something there. So that's what I love. I love the two-toneness. There's two little brassy beads. Beautiful onyx. With the drop, this is 3 inches. And the chain is gorgeous. Old, very oxidized. You can definitely clean it yourself. I'm not going to clean it because if it doesn't sell, I wouldn't want it clean. And the piece, chain is 20 inches and the pendant including the feathers is 3 inches, so we're looking at 23 inches. And like I said, it's a designer piece. I will put the guy's name there. If you are into it, you might recognize his name. It was all over Google. And this one I'm just selling for $75. So it's just bargains a day for me over here. Because I don't buy up a lot of this. I don't want to spend like what these were going for. I don't want to invest that and then just have it sitting here. And I only sell this stuff seasonally. I don't live in Arizona, California. So I just don't want thousands of dollars of, Taxco and native Navajo. I think his name was Benny. I have Alzheimer's. I don't know, but it was like a cool name. Like they shortened it. I don't know. I'll find it and put it in there. So $75 on that. Okay, I'm showing them carefully. This one I've shown before. I changed it out from a big look to a little look. It's a Italian intaglio. It looks like it's gold filled. I don't think it's stamped. It's amazing, beautiful detail on the intaglio, and it has a beautiful Roman portrait. And this is the color that is like a crimson. If you can see, if I move, the red shining through it. It doesn't look like amber. It looks like a crimson red. and stunning detail, very ornate. And I just put it on a gold filled chain just to give it a beautiful classic. These are going to be some classics, you know, that I do that will sell better. Just a classic necklace that is an antique. Even the closure on the chain is vintage. It's got that filigree, and it's got to be gold filled because it doesn't tarnish. I've had the chain for a million years. But together, simple, classic, and I'm doing 65. I think that's a great deal. And look at this look. Just wear it with all your real gold and bougie, bougie, bougie it up. Okay, one more I bought, and I'm putting it up here before I change it out, burnish it, and make it completely different because it was so pretty the way it is. And I've never even heard of this maker, but it's called like Miracle. It's marked Miracle, and it's not sterling, it's silver tone. The chain has some magnetism, but it came like this. There's no closure on the chain. You can Google Miracle. They make beautiful crosses, and I just loved the colors in the cross, and I love Maltese crosses. So it has like all these faux gemstones that I'm sure are glass, but they're all like, you know, kind of a little bit of a fuchsia, a soft rose, a green that's giving off emerald vibes, and, you know, garnet vibes here on the edges. But it was just so pretty. I found it online, and then I'm like, well, this is perfect for the holidays too, and spring, even spring colors. So I'm like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to leave it as is and put 50 on it. It's a great deal. And just sell it at my shows. I don't have to change anything because it's just too pretty. Sometimes things are better left alone. Here's a little baby booby baby necklace that I absolutely adore. I love. So silly. So I did a video the other day on depth perception, buying anything on the internet or in photos, or especially in a video, right? Because I've been watching these videos, and I explained they put the piece way up close, so you're thinking, oh my God, that's like 4 inches, it's massive, and you don't really get that. No, it's not, it's like 2. So I make mistakes like that because I buy in a hurry. I do not like think about something. I look at it, it's gorgeous, I want it, bing, I bought it, and then I get it, and I'm like, what did I buy? So wait, I gotta, if I can find it, it's so silly. And it's like Soji. I guess it's an artist or a maker that's sterling. I don't know where it's made out of. I can't remember. But the picture was like, oh my God, wait. You can't even see. These are so freaking little. These are earrings. Okay, now I'm showing you them close up, right? And the picture didn't have the dimensions. A lot of people, you know, I said dealers are lazy and they don't do it. But I love two-tone. So it has these little brass, you know, what do you call those? Don't know. But bubbles. And then this is sterling and cut out and, you know, filigree vibes. But I literally, they're so small that I'm like, I couldn't even push it into my ear and close it if I tried. So I'm like, okay, ridiculous. I will make pendants out of them. Like, they've got hangers. I can do a lot. So ixnay on the earring because it's the size of, I don't know what. And it did turn out to make a very darling pendant. I removed the gold pieces on it. So this is all sterling. Really old antique cross. Love it. I think it's got Roma on the back. Roma Italiano, sterling. This is sterling. This is sterling. This is a beautiful chain that just has little subtle detail with these little balls. All sterling. And now we've got like this really delicate thing that I made. It's so unlike most of my stuff that are chunky, but it's a sweetie pie and a one of a kind. Like, you'll wear this every day. You can shower in it. You don't have to take it off. It comes with its own extender, which are these beautiful, beautiful ornate rings because it's so short. So I will give you the measurement, but this is just adorable. Adorable. So the chain with the extender can be up to 18. And this piece itself is 1.5 total with the cross, the drop. And this one is 48 because it's antique, all of it, and all sterling. And one of a kind, 48. Great price, great piece. Okay, I think I'm done with all these necklaces. Yeah, I think I'll keep this one. Oh, I gotta show this. This is, because this is like out of my wheelhouse, you know? And I bought it online. I didn't know who the maker was or anything, but, you know, I like the look. It looks filigree, it looks sterling, it was not expensive, and it's a bib necklace, you know? So, again, I hit the buy it now button fast, and I get it, and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty, and I adore pearls, right? Like I said that, I love pearls, and pearls in silver I love. So I'm like, this thing is beautiful. It looks Italian, it looks expensive, it's made beautifully, it's got a beautiful chain, and I was so happy with it. It's an older piece, if you look at the clasp, and it's in pristine condition, like the air never hit it. So totally beautiful. I loved it, right? So I get it, and I'm looking, and I've never in my life bought an Avon piece, but it's got the Avon tag on it, because I just thought Avon, no offense, sucks, but it doesn't. There are some like really quality pieces that, this is gorgeous. If this didn't have an Avon tag on it, I would have marked this up so high, you know, like 75, because it's beautiful, and I've never seen it before. And I did add, just to extend the neck, because it was, again, a shorty, I added just one other lobster claw. That's the original. Just to extend it, so you have a little bit of an option there. It gives you like another ½ inch, because this is meant to be a bib and worn short. But I think it's cute. Like, I would totally wear this all day. So down to the first point of the drop to there is about 16 with the extender. So if you're like, oh, I love that, but I got a big neck and it might not fit me, just let me know, and I can just add some more rings here in the middle, and you'll be good to go. But this one is 45. It's so pretty. I mean, it looks so Italian. I love all the drops in perfect condition, like all these little silver toggles, this open work. These are beautiful, like creamy pearl, like not white. You know, white pearls can look really cheap. This is obviously, I guess, a faux pearl, but it looks like, you know, quality. It looks like quality. So that's that. That's it with the necklaces then. Done. Okay, here we go. Fast and loose. I have been buying panel bracelets up. I do love them, and I want antiques. So this is what I bought. I paid way up, just so you know, like, what's out there. This is like Persian turquoise. It's very small. I don't think anybody is going to be able to wear it. It's basically going to have to be a keeper for me, unless somebody has really teeny wrists. But it's so my vibe, I'm good to keep it. But I want to show you how pricey they are. This one says 7 inches, but by the time you get the pin in, it's tight on me, and I have small wrists, so I adore it. The detail, the filigree, this is going to be $180. I paid a fortune for it. So, I mean, as far as a profit, there'd not even be a lot in here, and I would cry if I sold it. But I'm just putting it out there because I want to have beautiful things. I want you to come on here and go, one thing this girl doesn't have is junk. She's, you know, if you like my style, then you're going to like all my things, because I pick out very similar looking items, and I'm not going to be like, okay, here we go, here we have a $200 turquoise bracelet, and then over here we have, you know, plastic bead necklace in red, white, and blue. No, it's not going to happen. Like, you will always see, if you see my shorts, everything is cohesive and matches, and it's just my vibe. And if I'm going to invest big money in finer pieces of jewelry, it's going to be quality, very old. This is 800 silver. And it's going to be, if I never sold it, I would be thrilled and don't need to make a profit on it. So I buy things that I don't care if I profit. You know, I love it. So if I kept it forever, gave it a gift in a year, all my friends get my jewelry. Jewelry. Okay, here's another version of similar in style, like almost in a Etruscan vibe. 800 silver, carnelian, panel bracelet, very ornate, love it. You know, would love to see them together. Love them. I mean, these are so beautiful. And This one is stamped, I think, right in the center. You can see it. It's 800. I don't know. Might say Sabin, but I'm blind. It's very rubbed off. Is it on every panel? No, it begins with a B. Like BAN 900 silver. So it's really old. So I don't know. I don't think it's Indonesia. I think it's, more like an Italy piece or Spanish because of the detail. And you've got 5 gorgeous panels with beautiful, genuine carnelian. And, not the dark stuff. Like this has some, it looks amber, but it was sold as carnelian. So tell me if I'm wrong. 95. I love Italy. I love Spain. I also love Paris, France. This is gorgeous. This is a panel bracelet, sterling silver. Just found it out in the wild. The charm that hangs is the Eiffel Tower. Beautiful, vintage. This is another one that is vintage or antique that no one really ever wore because it's got a nice bright patina on it. I adore it. It's darling. And stamped wise, I don't know. I just know it's silver. It's got a stamp, but it's like a not a number, like a star on it. But this was probably for the tourist trade back, in like the 20s or 30s. And you can go to Paris now and try to buy a bracelet in their gift shops, and everything's junk. It's like literally made in China junk in Paris. So this, if you've ever been there or you want to go there and you want to put it out to the universe every day on your arm that you would like to go to Paris, which is fabulous, this one is 60, and it's gorgeous. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 panels of gorgeousness in perfect condition with a charm. Deal of the century. So now I'm going to show you one that is similar, and it's the darker patina. So this is actually made by the same, manufacturer. Same dealio. It's got the charm. It's just a more narrow bracelet. It's Parisian. But this one has been left out in the air, so it's completely tarnished. I didn't clean it. I like it tarnished. It makes it look old. But so there's like a light, wide version, and then there's a narrow, really darkened patina version. In all these same, landmarks. You've got Notre Dame, Versailles, it looks like. You got Arc de Triomphe, and you've got, of course, the Eiffel Tower right there on the charm. This one is 55. Paid a little more for one than the other. So beautiful. You don't have to go there. It's like somebody went there in 1920 and brought it back here, and now you can buy it. Okay. I might have shown, well, let's skip it. Beautiful mother of pearl, vintage-ish. Love mother of pearl and sterling, especially when there is a patina, an oxidation, and marcasite. And it looks like all the marcasites are there. Ugh, I hate that noise. I'm so sorry. Stunning, stunning, stunning piece. This is not the original, I don't believe it. It might be the original closure. And it's marked 925. And how long is it? I think the closure may have been changed. But if it's original, it's sterling, and it looks great. Okay. Let's see. It's 7 inches. Your standard 7. Beautiful, beautiful. But it's just like a great stacker. Like, oh, today, I might wear this. And then I'll just put this at the very top and give it a little something, something, something. Gorgeous. This one is 60. This one is a steel. It's 38. It's filigree. It's very, very fine, finely made. It's, I think, 800 silver. And it has that wonderful push closure into that little filigree rectangle, and it's like nobody ever wore it ever and ever put it out in the light because it's completely bright. And this one is 38. I actually love it, and it's a great stacker. Just stack them up. And antique. Isn't that great? Okay, this one, I'm moving on up. I think this is made in Mexico. It's got an old silver Mexico, but I don't see like a Taxco. But I've seen this many times. The only flaw is it's missing a piece right there, and I didn't see that it was missing. I looked in the box, but it doesn't take away from anything. You can never tell. And it's all sterling. It's got all this like Etruscan vibe. Love it. The closure is just a hook like so. Beautiful, beautiful bracelet. I've seen these go for up to like $125 on eBay and other sellers. And this one, I'm trying to remember what I paid for it. $50, because it has that little problemo, which it's in the middle, so you can't even notice it. And I'm picky, so when something's vintage, it's okay if there's something off, because it's like, yeah, you know, it's old. What do you expect? Okay, put this one up a couple of times. I'm going to lower it to 30, or like I said, it's going on my dog. It's too thin for me. I like the wider cuffs or bracelets, and it's sterling marcasite. I paid more than $30 for it, but somebody can get a bargain if they want it. Gorgeous, 7 inches. Every stone is there. It's got the closure, the older closure, which I'm not going to bother. I won't be able to undo it with my nails. This one is got Spanish vibes. I think it's Egyptian, but it has the pin. It has it's silver gilt, so it looks like a gold finish, but it's actually sterling. And look at the detail, all the filigree. And it may be an Egyptian piece. It's just filigree. I've seen this one a lot too, and it's been claimed to be different countries. So I'm just going to say I'm not sure, but it's gorgeous. It's an antique. And you've got the pin closure and the chain, the safety chain. You know the piece is old, and it's perfect. It's just a perfect piece. A little bit of patina. And this one is 50. This one is 50. Really old, Italian, very lightweight. This is filigree at its finest. You know, filigree is wire work. And it's all these little rosettes, and all the detail is wire that's been turned and twisted into the design. So this one is beautiful, sterling, antique, Italy. Cameos that are shell, carved shell, 3 of them, $50. Great closure, antique closure. Okay, here we go with the monsters that are from Mexico, 19 silver. What was the year again? Names, it's got the city name on it. I can't really pronounce it. It's hand engraved in the piece, like Skachimico. I don't know what it is, but it's 1947. You see a lot of these are like Aztec vibes. This is chunky silver. They come in black onyx. They have the faces. Here's the silver gilt one, where they have the like Aztec tiki faces. So this one is heavy. This has got to be like 28 grams. I don't have my scale. Beautiful detail, perfect condition. You might have a couple of bumps here in your balls, but this one is $125, and this goes for $250 or $3. Look it up. Stelio Delio. And here's a silver gilt and abalone version. It's the same Mexico sterling silver gilt. What's it marked? Really rubbed off, but I can't see it, but it's sterling. And this one's $65. That's a good deal. And these go way up too. So $65, $125 for bracelets that are worth at least double that. Now these, when I was looking for France and Italy, these are Italian souvenir bracelets. So I love, you know, filigree, and I love Firenze, Italy. So this one is all Firenze. And they're beautiful enameled spacers. in there. And we're looking at, I mean, like the Ponte, well, that's the Firenze insignia that they still use today. And the Ponte Vecchio, the bridges there. What's this one? What's probably the Duomo. Being there, I recognize the buildings, and it's sterling silver. And this one I really don't want to sell, but if you really want it, I'm going back, and I never found this there. This is somebody that bought it and brought it back. So this one is 95, rare. This one's even more rare, sterling, very ornate. Look at that panel bracelet, but look at the detail. Look at the oxidation. So I'd be happy with one or the other. I don't really need two Firenze, but this one actually has it looks like the city of Florence. Beautiful, like stucco buildings. Love it. There's no more beautiful place in the world. Very ornate. And this one is maybe a little small, but it's got to be one that doesn't turn, this one, because you want to show the focal point. So removing the closure, this is only like 6 inches. You got to have a really small wrist. Everything else is 7 inches. And I'm just checking this other Florentine one. Yeah, this is 7 as well. So 95, 95. If you love them, they're here. I'd be happy not to part with them. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I know it was long. I know I was like, drab. But you know what? I wanted to show you these treasures. It's like a load off because I'm making more and more every day. Buying completely different things and investing much more into quality pieces than I ever have in my life. And it's all for the sake of impressing you and getting more clients here. I actually went today to like see how to go live. And, I was like, I don't want to go live, but how do you do it? So I went in there and I'm like, you got to download Google or whatever. And I did it. And it's like, okay, now you're ready, but it'll take 24 hours. And I'm like, today I would have just, gone live if anybody showed up, whatever. But I'd still have the video. And I don't care if 2 people, no people came. I'm proud of what I'm selling. I love these treasures and these antique pieces. And so if nobody even showed up or nobody bought them, I'd be, it's their loss. Kind of a snob or a brat because they're gorgeous. Here's another one, sterling. I forgot it because I can't call it a panel bracelet, but it's a gorgeous sterling bracelet. It's older. It has the older clasp. This one's 30. This one just hooks into here. I was going to make a charm bracelet out of it, so if nobody buys it or if somebody wants a custom charm bracelet, let me know, because I like that it's unique. I don't like the average bear when it comes to charm bracelets. So that one's 30. That's basically probably a break even on it, because I didn't want to put a bunch of charms on it and add, make it really expensive. So this one is 30 and it's 7 inches. That's everything. By the way, if you're into art, there's a new Virgin Mary. It's Cusco, comes out of Spain, a new painting that I just found. And again, they don't put the size. So I'm thinking for the price that I have to bid, I would love to know how big it is, because I certainly don't have a big room either. But I'm thinking it could be like this. I don't know, because you just can't tell, and you just can't. There was nothing there to mark, the size, and I had to buy it. It was a last-minute bid, and I got it. I opened it up, and the pictures were gorgeous and pristine, and it turned out to be a lovely size. A really lovely size, in all my colors, and I feel so blessed. It's just on canvas. It's an oil painting, and her face. I should turn it around, let you see her face. It is stunning. Oof. Can I do that? I don't know if I can do that with the video, but I'll just go like this. If you can hopefully see it. She's gorgeous. I hope she's in the camera. And I feel so blessed. And I used to have these. This is an older one that was my mom's, Cusco. And the age on this, if you see the back, it's so old. And the colors are vibrant. And I Googled, imaged it, like, I'm going to sit down. I'm so tired. Oh, guys, I just dropped it on the floor. I'm so sorry. I Google imaged it before I bought it, because it was like getting bid on a lot. And I was like, oh no, I gotta own this, but I'm scared. Like, how high is this going to go? And I put it into Google Image, and there's only one that came up. Sorry for my finger. and it was completely faded, and it was, I thought, identical, but same kind of vibe, like on a canvas. So I thought, if these are mass produced, where's that sucker? You know, you're going to see them all over Google. No, there was only one pristine, this one, and then one that was completely faded. And so maybe whatever, you know, it's not signed though, so I don't really know what I have, but all I know is that I love it and I feel blessed. And another thing about size, well, I'll show you later. It's kind of embarrassing, but I bought a clock that I thought was like 7 inches, and it's like 25 inches. And I'm like, where am I putting it in this teeny weeny room? It's like a joke. So I love you people. Anybody that made it 55 minutes is crazy, but stop it and go back and forth, and please let me know if you want any of these pieces by texting 708-217-1600. They're all beautiful, fine, and they're just delicious, and you love them all. Like, you won't get a piece to go, ooh, I don't like it. And if you ever did, just refund it, return it to me, and I would gladly accept it. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna go to bed now. It's, I think, 5:30 or 6 in the morning. See ya.